now circumcision isn't like necessarily required to be a Christian or to follow God, but how do we mark ourselves like spiritually, or it's not less about physical. How do we mark ourselves spiritually? How do we show up to others? Finally, God turns to Sarai and changes her name to Sarah, which means princess, and tells her she's going to have a son. Abraham can't help but laugh, and he says, God, I am literally 100 years old, and Sarah is 90. Are we really about to do this? But God is dead serious. He said, yeah, I said what I said. You're having a son, and his name is going to be Isaac. Since you want to play so much, yeah, his name is going to be Isaac, which means, and translates to, he laughs. And he basically says, my covenant is going to continue through him. Um, and Abraham, being a concerned father, is like, well, what about my other son, Ishmael? Like, what's going to happen to him? And God reassures him. He's like, all right, chill out. I know you have another son. He said Ishmael is going to be blessed too. He's going to have 12 princes and become a great nation. But the covenant I'm talking about, yeah, that's through Isaac. That very day, Abraham obeyed. After God told him all that, he said, cool. He obeys literally almost immediately. He goes, he circumcises himself, he circumcises Ishmael and every male in the household. Like, talk about immediate action and faith. Like, he wasted no time. He said, you said to do it? All right, bet, let's do it. Some key takeaways from today's lesson. So we have faith over fear. So Abraham doubted, and then Sarai took shortcuts. But God remained faithful. He did not move. His plans often take time, but they're always worth it because God's intentionality is always going to go past human understanding. Like, you never outdo God. Like, this is just never going to happen. Another takeaway is God sees you. So specifically in Hagar's story, it shows that no one is invisible to God. Like, he sees your struggle. He sees when you're down. Like, and it's up to us to continue to like seek his face and like continue to try to keep on a little bit hope. When you're in the middle of something, it really is hard to like buckle down and be like, well, I know God got me, because in the moment, all you feel is your presence. Something that like humans unfortunately have to deal with is that a lot of times we could only be present minded. The last takeaway is obedience matters. So Abraham's quick obedience to circumcision shows the importance of trusting in God and acting on his word, even when uncomfortable. Like, that was going to cause him physical pain and people in his camp physical pain. But yet he still did it because he was like, God, if God said it and God has plans to prosper me, there must be a reason why, you know? Then one of the other takeaways I have is that God keeps his promise, whether it's land, legacy, a child, marriage. God is faithful to fulfill his word. So if there's something that God has spoken on, you know God has told you that, you have to trust that God is going to fulfill it. And that's a wrap for day 5 of scripture and sequence. We saw promises, we saw doubts, and God's plan moving forward despite all the human flaws and messiness. Essentially, it shows us that God sees us, he hears us, and is working even when we don't understand. So trust the process, because when God makes a promise, he keeps it no matter what. No matter how impossible it seems, like no matter how much time has passed, keep showing up, keep leaning in. Let's meet back here tomorrow for some more diving in and exploration of the text. Don't forget to like, share, and tag a friend who needs a reminder of God's faithfulness. See you tomorrow.